Today we're diving deep into the exciting world of our new 100-gallon saltwater paludarium. I'll be sharing our journey of transformation and growth, featuring new fish, familiar corals, surprising discoveries, and the challenges we have faced so far. If you are new here, make sure you watch the previous episodes on this project and subscribe to the channel, so you don't miss out on future episodes. This project is only just getting started. First up, let's address the notorious salt creep, a big concern on an environment with live plants. For those new to this, salt creep occurs when water evaporates, leaving behind those frustrating white crystals on the tank edges. It not only looks messy, but can also impact the overall health of the paludarium. This was a concern that was expressed by a lot of people in the comments on the previous episodes. And yes, it has been a concern I have been aware of since day one as well. Most plants do not like salt. Actually, most plants die when they are in contact with salt for longer periods. Now there are a few exceptions, like the mangrove plants we have in here. All the other plants are not touching the water. The plants on the left are in a separate container that we built using Aquarium and pond liner. For the plants in the middle, however, it's a different story. Over time, the salt will build up on the rocks, creeping up higher and higher, and would eventually catch up to the plants. This forced me to make a few changes as expected. One of the orchids on the mountain and the ant plant on the right, which were closest to the water, looked like they were getting irritated by something. So I did what every crazy hobbyist would do. I got intimate with my plants. I suspected it was the salt creep causing issues. So to find out if this was the actual cause, I tasted the rocks, and they tasted rather salty. I removed the two old orchids and put a mangrove in their place. I glued it onto the rock so I can see the roots develop underwater. I bought a bigger orchid and placed it a bit higher on the rocks this time, right above the crack separating the two rocks. I think the salt creep will not go much higher than this, but only time will tell. I put the ant plant in the plant section on the left in between the other plants. Those are growing pretty fast. As you can see here, we also have to be careful with the moss. That's because the moss will act as a sponge and suck up all the salt water. With a humidifier on a schedule to moist the moss and plants multiple times a day, and a simple spray with RODI water to spray the plants a few times a week, we can hopefully keep them comfortable. RODI water is water often used in saltwater aquariums because it's free of chlorine, heavy metals and other contaminants. It's used to mix salt water and to top off the aquarium for evaporation. Water evaporates, but the salt doesn't. So never top off evaporation on a saltwater aquarium with salt water. Use RODI water instead. Anyways, I am excited to see some growth on these plants and can't wait to see this develop over the next few months. It's a challenge for sure. Now if you've made it this far into the video, consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps. Stay tuned for the rest of the video because there is a lot left to uncover, including some of my old corals that have made a comeback. Next, let's talk about our little friends, the snails. They are the janitors of the aquarium, helping to keep it clean. While they are doing a great job, I still have to help sometimes because after all, they are small. Very small. While doing a routine cleanup, I stumbled upon small bumps on the glass. I scraped off the first few bumps using my magnet cleaner, but then decided to take a closer look, and to my surprise, I stumbled upon these tiny transparent bubbles with tiny specks in it. We discovered snail eggs. These snails are beneficial to the reef as they can reach places I cannot reach with my hands. However, they can also be quite annoying. When they try to clean the power head, for example, while it's on, it's pretty noisy and usually ends up with the snail flying across the tank. Or, even worse, the power head just stops working and I have to remove the snail from it. I need to get some fine covers for them so the snails can get stuck in it and the flow just continues. Now let's get into something that might raise some eyebrows. These orange rings. You may be asking, what are they and why are they so important? Well, these little guys play a crucial role in our filtration system. This orange substance is called sponge. Sponges are simple multicellular organisms that filter out fine particles, bacteria, and other organic matter from the water. They play a crucial role in the ecosystem by improving water clarity and providing a habitat for beneficial microorganisms. Sponges can be found in various colors and shapes, and their presence often indicates a healthy and stable environment in the aquarium. By introducing these two rings, which I took out of a filter at my local fish store, I hope these sponges will eventually settle on the rocks, or even better, on the mangrove roots or the wood, just like they do in the wild. Last week I also introduced this bright orange piece of sponge. Doesn't it look incredible? I really like it. The sponge itself likes low light and medium flow, so we need to find an appropriate spot for it. Do you have any suggestions? In addition to these sponges, I also introduced some other filter feeders, like these tube worms. These filter feeding creatures build tubes that they live in, often attaching itself to the sand, rocks, or even corals. The worm extends delicate, colorful, feathery plumes to catch tiny particles like plankton from the water. While hiding in their tubes, tube worms add movement and beauty to a reef tank, contributing to the ecosystem by helping keeping the water clean through natural filtration. These tube worms come in many different colors, like purple, which we have here, a mix between a few colors, yellow, white. There are quite a few options, and I hope to collect them all. Next to these two tube worms, I also have this beautiful piece of Alveopora. It is a coral that I saved from my previous setup, and I wanted it in this paludarium. I think it looks really cool here in between the mangroves. This is also the hiding place for the Bangai cardinalfish and the other ones that are not supposed to be there. Next up is a big part of our paludarium, the corals. I kept some of my older corals that were in the other aquariums I had set up prior to this new paludarium. My 4-year-old Duncan coral, the chalices, an Acanthostraea, Lobophilia, and a few zoanthids. I also bought 2 rock anemones. These come in a ton of different colors, and I think the tide pool is a great place for them. It's kind of a mess right now with the macroalgae, corals, mangrove leaves, and other stuff in there. But over the next few weeks I plan on placing them on the reef itself. There are many things to consider. Each species likes a different amount of flow and lighting, and we also have to consider how they will grow. For example, an Acanthostraea will spread and not really grow in height, while the Duncan coral will also grow in height. I introduced these corals over the course of a few weeks. If you paid attention in last week's episode, which was filmed the week before that, I had already introduced the Duncan and Crucifer anemones. Taking things slow is crucial for a reef. The system is very new and undeveloped, so small things can put it out of balance really quick. So far the corals are looking good and the fish seem to enjoy their new home. I even introduced 5 other fish. These are also cardinal fish, a little bigger than the Bangai cardinal fish we introduced earlier, but I like them. I was hoping they would claim and defend their own territory and form 2 separate groups, but so far they don't seem too bothered by each other. A lot of people also pointed out that the Bangai cardinals will fight each other as they grow, and only one pair of fish might survive because of that. So as they grow we will clearly see which fish will form pairs, and will remove the others where necessary. I also placed some macroalgae on the rocks. Some of these will grow very fast, like the feather caulerpa and grape caulerpa. They are pretty invasive, to be honest. So we'll have to keep them in shape by cutting them down during our weekly maintenance routine. Now, because I want to go for a somewhat natural look with this aquarium, it will not really be a super clean and sterile looking reef. Along with these new additions, I installed another return pump to improve water circulation. I discovered there wasn't much flow in this part of the reef. It's very difficult to get it right in a 250 cm or 8 foot long aquarium. Fortunately, I could still hide it behind these rocks. This was a game changer because this new pump ensures that water flows better throughout the entire tank. This is really crucial for coral health. It helps distribute nutrients, heat, and keeps everything well oxygenated. As you can see, our saltwater paludarium is thriving with these new changes. Each step, whether dealing with salt creep, snails, or introducing new life has been an adventure filled with lessons. The balance of this ecosystem is very delicate, but watching it flourish makes it all worthwhile. I hope you enjoyed this journey so far. In the next episode, which might be the most exciting one of them all so far, we are going to do some big shopping for cool corals, creatures and other marine life. There is a lot more to come on this Saltwater Paludarium, so if you have any questions or tips of your own, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share your own aquatic adventures. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of your own underwater world. Thanks for watching.